今天是第一次给大家推荐一本书，这本书是我第一次遇到一本葡萄酒初学者和资深爱好者都可以喜欢的一本书。这本书的作者有哈佛大学学士和斯坦福大学博士学历，他还有自己的酒庄，这个酒庄可以代表一整个国家的近代葡萄酒业发展史。这本书叫《百酿成金》，它通过15个标志性酒庄的家族历史，带大家进入葡萄酒这个充满历史和文化的世界。大家好，欢迎来到诗阳品酒生活，我是诗阳，带大家品酒品味生活。那在开始之前，还是老规矩，我们倒上一杯，边喝边聊。你现在在喝什么？我也很好奇，你可以在弹幕上或者在留言里分享一下。我喝的是什么？你一会儿就知道了。你们准备好了吗？我们开始吧。百酿成金这本书是近几年我见到最有意思的葡萄酒书，因为它是一本不管你是葡萄酒初学者还是非常懂酒的资深爱好者都可以从中学到一些东西的书。它的风格是一种用大量的手绘，一种非常轻松的方式给大家介绍15个世界名庄的故事。这些酒庄每个都是重要产区的代表，比如拉菲、康帝、金鸡、嘎亚、哈兰这样子的酒庄，还有3个为这个版本加入了3个中国酒庄。这本书的作者和这些酒庄的庄主其实都很熟，甚至他们都是几十年的老朋友。这个庄主呢，他自己其实也是个传奇人物，他就是阿根廷 Catena Zapata 酒庄的庄主 Laura Catena。这次我还从 Laura 那里要来一点福利，这是我手里有5本他亲手签名的书，可以送给大家。如果你想参与，就请在下面留言，葡萄酒在你的生活中扮演什么样的角色？我会在评论里面挑选出幸运粉丝发给你们。Catena Zapata 这个酒庄在阿根廷是最重要的酒庄之一，从品质角度讲，我认为是最优秀的那个。前几天我有幸约他单独喝一杯酒聊一聊，那今天就让他给大家讲一讲这本书，同时大家也跟我一起了解一下这位传奇的庄主，看看从哈佛和斯坦福出来的大咖是怎样通过葡萄酒来改变世界的。So today we have the honor and the pleasure to have a very special guest on our show. She's the face of Argentine wines, and she's the wonderful Dr. Laura Catena.
Thank you very much. Good pronunciation on my name.
Thank you. I practice a lot.
Oh, I can tell.
So first of all, welcome. And as part of the tradition to the show, we like to taste wines, and my followers also like to taste wines. And today I brought a wine for you to blind taste.
Okay.
So we have it right here.
Excellent. Great.
We have some white wines. Would you like to give it a try?
I love white wine.
Okay.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, it has a beautiful golden color. It's, I think it's Chardonnay.
Okay.
You know, it's got a little minerality, some white fruits. It's definitely got a little bit of oak.
Okay.
Which I like.
Yeah.
I like a little touch of oak in my Chardonnay. It's very dry.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought you were going to trick me and give me my own wine, but I actually don't think it's my own wine.
Okay.
But I could be wrong.
Yes.
I thought it could be a high altitude Chardonnay because, you know, in the high altitude we have lots of sunlight, so we get a lot of fruits.
Yes.
But you do get this kind of Chardonnay that's a mix between Old World and New World. It's got a little bit more exuberance than Old World, but it's also got the minerality. Mm-hmm. It's probably, you know, it's a young Chardonnay, you know, maybe vintage 2022, 21 or something like that.
Very good.
And I think it's delicious, and I think we should now go to lunch.
Yes. We'll have the whole bottle for it. So I will give you a slight hint.
Okay. Yeah.
But this is your wine.
Oh, okay. But on the nose, I thought it was my wine.
Yeah.
And then on the palate, I wasn't so sure. I don't know. It's really good. Maybe it's White Stones. I don't know.
White Stones.
This is White Stones.
Ah, it is White Stones.
It is White Stones.
Oh, no,
Actually,
you're
you
killing
got it
me.
in the process. You got it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I really love this wine.
I love this wine too. Oh, and it's 2021.
2021,
Okay.
you was bang on
Yeah.
with vintages.
Well, I think this is amazing. But I actually think it would be fun to have the Catena Chardonnay here. You'd be amazed at how good my entry-level Chardonnay
Yeah, I can
is.
imagine that. So, looking at your progression, you graduated from Harvard, and then you did your medical doctor degree in Stanford. Those are very high achievements, and it's a big detour to take to get to the direction. How do you think this detour helped you in mind?
Okay, so I studied medicine. I love medicine, and I practiced as an emergency doctor for 25 years. Yeah. So then I went to Stanford. I studied medicine. I thought maybe I wanted to be a researcher, but actually I like taking care of patients. I like being in the hospital taking care of patients, and I did that for a long time. I thought, I'm not going to help people with wine. I changed my mind.
Yes.
I think I help more people with wine than as a doctor, actually. Honestly, the first thing I realized is that when you have a family business that has continued for over 120 years, our family winery was founded in 1902, you are supporting a whole region, the vineyards, each vine, the insects, the microbes, like you are supporting an ecosystem. Yeah. All the people who have worked in that vineyard, we have at Catena families where we have, the grandfather, the mother, the child, and now the kids who want to work in the winery.
World.
Yeah. And then what my father has done to elevate Argentine wine has benefited all the other wineries in Argentina, because the Argentine wine is not a commodity; it's fine wine, and this is how you can support a business. And so for me, when you run a responsible business, you are helping a lot of people, and you are increasing their wealth, not just your business, all these people that you employ, your region. And so I really think that somebody that runs a responsible business, and we do a lot of work in sustainability and preserving the vines and organic farming, you are having an impact on people as important as a doctor. As important as a doctor. And I really believe that now. I mean, we are on this world to have some pleasure, right? So I now think that making wine, working for my family winery is the best thing I could be doing.
And you have much higher leverage than just being a doctor in terms of influencing.
Influencing more people. I mean, here I am in China,
I totally agree with you, because before all this I was working as an architect. I was trained as an architect, and
cool.
I thought that this suits me better. I get to make more people happy. I want to build a cultural bridge between China and then the West, basically.
Yes.
And I chose this as my profession to promote the culture of wine within the Chinese-speaking public. And I want more people to get interested in wine. So after having wine as a common interest when they go out to meet local people, I call this a connection. It's a key to a cultural handshake.
Oh my God, I love that. The wine is a cultural handshake. I love it. I love it.
That's how you meet people. You start making friends. And I want more people to take this key in their hands and to travel the world and unlock more regions. You're also an author. You wrote many books. And of course, we are here today to talk about. We have the book here. We have a copy right here. It is called The Gold in the Vineyards. In Mandarin, it's called 百酿成金.
The idea of the book was that there are many famous wines in the world, but they're not only from France. And I wanted there to be a book that highlighted some of the great families that make wine in the world and what their stories are. And what I found when I was doing my research is that they actually have pretty similar stories. You know what you were saying about the cultural handshake? Wine brings people together in a similar way wherever you are. Yes, it tastes different because of the place, but what leads a family to plant vineyards, to work hard, to try many different things in the search of the holy grail, of the gold. You have to plant so many vineyards until one day you plant that one vineyard. For us, the Adriana vineyard. And we had planted many vineyards before that, since 1902. And the Adriana vineyard was planted in 1992. So 90 years after my great-grandfather came from Italy to Argentina, we planted this vineyard that became, our Grand Cru vineyard. But we never stopped trying. We keep on working. And every family in the book has a similar story of doing something that they knew was a little irresponsible and crazy and potentially that would fail.
You were crazy until you succeed. And then,
Exactly. And every family in the book shares that.
So I understand this book was translated and re-edited, and you had a collaboration with Dr. Li.
Yes.
李德美.
Well, Professor Li Demei was so much help because he made absolutely sure that all the translations were correct, that the wine language was correct. He really enjoyed the book, and that's why he accepted to collaborate with me, which for me was such a big honor because he's such a famous professor, and I really wanted a collaborator from China because I am not an expert on Chinese wine, and I felt that I should have a co-author that knew Chinese wine. Some of the other wineries, I've known the families, for a long time, from France and Italy and Spain and California. But what was really exciting is that the journey to finding these Chinese wineries led me to learn a lot about Chinese wine. I tasted a lot of wine. And what I found were 3 wineries that had an old history. So, for example, Silver Heights, they started a long time ago. They were really the pioneer for the Bordeaux blend, for Ningxia. Then Domaine Franco-Chinois has a great story because it started as an experimental vineyard of the government, and this collaboration with France.
And the name is actually interesting.
And then Puchang was really exciting because I tasted the Beichun, and Beichun is a hybrid variety that has some native Chinese variety in it. And that to me was fascinating because this was not just a Chinese family, it was also a variety that is part Chinese, native. Like, that was so exciting, and I thought it was so delicious, and it's made without sulfites. I think there's a crisis in the world of loneliness.
Social media definitely.
Yeah, social media. A lot of doctors are really concerned that people are not socializing, and I think that wine could save us, literally. I think wine could save us from all the bad things in the world.
I totally agree. Because wine always tastes better when you drink with people you like.
Yes, and it encourages you to go out. Like me and my husband, we are so excited to go out because we're going to have that bottle of wine. We like each other, but we see each other every day. But if we have that wine, it's more special. And I think, if your friends say, hey, let's go out, and then they say, let's go out and have a great bottle of wine, then you want to go, right? And so I think that it will bring people together. I think this trend of people studying wine almost like a language. Like, a lot of people learn Spanish, French, Mandarin, and to decide I'm going to become a wine expert, this is going to be like a heavy hobby. I think it's really exciting because
in my videos I talk about this very often, which exactly what you just said. I take wine as a language.
Yes.
And I think every time I drink a wine, or I like to do blind tasting, my way of blind tasting is I see a wine as a person, and it has its appearance, it has its nose, its language, and my process of blind tasting is like a conversation. It's like, okay, so you have this accent in your language, it sounds like this place or that place.
I love that. I've never thought of it that way. That's brilliant.
Let me just put this down. So the book is called The Gold in the Vineyards, 百酿成金. It's very entertaining to read, very informative as well. I highly recommend anyone who has interest in wine. It doesn't matter if you're just pure beginner or even a master sommelier. I think you have a lot of fun reading this book. So Laura, thank you so much for being here, and congratulations on the books.
Thank you. And
salud.
Salud.
Cheers. 如果你对这本书感兴趣，它是中国轻工业出版社出版的，所以它在中国的主流书店和那些主流的线上平台应该都可以找到这本书。那么今天的内容就到这里，感谢大家收看，我们下期再见。Cheers。